In this day and age, there's always someone lurking, whether it be on the internet or a gas station parking lot, trying to squeeze money from honest, hardworking people. From fake gold to fake diamonds, even fake Rolexes and other watches. We're going to give you pointers to show you how to tell the difference. But before we do, just remember that it takes jewelry experts years to tell the difference, and there are some really good fakes out there that show up from time to time. So the only surefire way to know whether or not something is real is to stop by at a local mom and pop jewelry store. Here at Gold Galore, we have over 20 years experience in the jewelry field, and we will be glad to help you determine whether or not something is real, free of charge. There's lots of really cool tips and tricks to determine whether a piece of gold is real. While not conclusive, this can help you quickly weed out the really bad fakes. Remember, just because something is stamped doesn't mean it's real. A piece can be stamped 14 karat and not be 14 karat. Think of it like counterfeit money. Just because a bill says $100 doesn't mean that it is. We have to look a little closer. To do this, we're going to use 3 of our senses. The first sense we will use is visual observation. Is the piece marked 14 karat and super yellow? It could be that the piece is plated and counterfeit stamped. Fake gold chains, for instance, tend to have a very particular look to them. Perhaps try doing a Google search on Google Images for fake gold chains. Doing so will help you get familiar with the look of fake gold chains. The second sense we will use is feel, and for this we're going to get a little scientific. Let's talk about specific gravity. What is specific gravity? Specific gravity is simply the weight in grams of 1 cubic centimeter of a metal. Basically, if you had 2 cubes of equal size, one made out of gold and the other of copper, the gold cube would be more than twice as heavy as the copper cube. I mention specific gravity because once you get used to the feel of gold, you can hold any piece of metal in your hands and quickly determine, almost conclusively, whether or not it's real. This is a handy trick, no pun intended. The third sense we're going to use might turn some heads, but bear with me. Have you ever smelled a piece of metal? It has a very particular and pungent odor. Gold doesn't have any smell. Sometimes you might be able to smell somebody's cologne or perfume, but gold will never smell metallic. So next time, take that piece of gold, put it up to your nose, it'll tell you right away if it's real or not. Cool trick, huh? Like I said earlier, the way to conclusively determine whether or not gold is real is to go to a local mom and pop jewelry store with years of experience. They will have several different ways of determining the authenticity of your piece. Some fakes are so obvious that it just takes a quick visual inspection to tell, so don't be surprised if they tell you whether or not it's real immediately. If they know what they're doing, they should be able to most of the time. They also might use a newer technology called electric test. This test determines whether or not gold is real, checking its conductivity. Gold is highly conductive. They also might use the acid test. Now, I will show you the classic acid test, which will give us a visual representation of what we're looking for when you're trying to determine whether or not a piece is real. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to show you what it looks like when something is not real. So, this is a fake kind of gold-plated chain. So what we're going to do is scratch it on the stone, and you want to have a long scratch, and I'll show you why. So what you do is you take the acid and you drop it on a spot, and you can see what it looked like before and how it disappeared after. The acid ate away the alloys, and that's how you know that there's no gold in there. If it were gold, it would stay, and I'll show you what it looks like when it is gold. This is 14 karat. Okay. You notice when I drop the acid on that, this is the 14 karat acid. You notice when I drop the acid on that, it stays. It does not disappear. And that's how you know that that is 14 karat gold. Now I'm going to show you why you want to do the long scratches. Here's 10 karat gold. Now what we're going to do first is, let's pretend we don't know it's 10 karat gold. We're going to test it with 14 karat acid first to see if it is 14 karat. So you drop it here, and you notice it doesn't disappear, but it fades. And that's why you want a long scratch, so you can tell that, well, it's still there, but it faded. So we know it's not strong enough to hold up to the 14 karat acids, therefore it's got to be 10 or lower. So now we're going to drop the 10 karat acid on it. And the scratch does not disappear at all. So there we have 10 karat gold. So as a bonus, we're going to teach you how to determine if sterling silver is real or not. And a lot of people don't know this. So what you want to do is you want to use 18 karat acid. And I know it's kind of weird, but watch, you'll see. So what you do is, just like the others, you scratch the silver onto the stone. Okay? And now when you drop the acid on this, what it should do if it's sterling silver is disappear and then reappear light blue in color. If it reappears white, it is still silver, it's just lower than sterling silver. Sterling silver is 92.5% pure. So it may be 80% what they call coin silver, or even a lower silver content than that. See, it disappears and reappears light blue. And that's how you determine if sterling silver is real or not. In conclusion, we hope these tips help you from making that expensive mistake of paying hundreds of dollars for something that isn't worth 2 nickels. And don't forget, we will be glad to test your gold or silver or platinum free of charge.